Hello everyone. I hope everyone who's watching here today is having a great day. Welcome back to my channel. Today I will be walking you guys through this video in more detail than any of my other aquarium videos. Firstly, I have a disclaimer. Everything that you'll see me do here or say is not the right way, but it is the way I do aqua nails or liquid nails. Yeah, it's the way I do them from watching and observing and all that. So, but I'll be walking you through every step because I've been getting multiple questions about different things about every set that I do. So today I thought that I'd explain each step of what I do while answering some previous questions. So if you watch my previous videos and you ask questions, I hope I would have answered them here. All right, so I've got so much catching up to do, recording and watching your people's videos, whoever I'm subscribed to. All right, let's begin. I am starting with creating tabs for the back part of the tank. So I do them on 4 corners of this stamping scraper. I started off with a layer of no wipe base coat, top coat, and then now I am applying a thicker layer of builder gel because my no wipe top coat is quite thin. So if I wanted to do this and have the tab a bit thick, I was gonna take like 5 different curing layers. So this way I'm building up the tab thickness, but the back side will be for the tank inside. Yeah, like with everything that I do as far as aquarium nails, everything I cure, you know that I have to wipe with no alcohol. With alcohol. And okay, so I was cleaning the tabs, removing the sticky tacky layer that always remains after you cure. And now I am building up or creating the base of the tank that I'm gonna cut up, and I am gonna fit behind the back of or the bottom part of the tank. I'm only doing 4 fingers for this set. Yeah, so don't wonder why I didn't do the 5th one. I'm aware of it. All right, so the bottom of the tank that I've built is thick enough, but I also leave it to first self level before I cure it, so that it must just be smooth and flat. And then I go in with the alcohol and I clean it. And usually this builder gel has a very, very thick, sticky, tacky layer. So you have to wipe with like 2 or 3 lint wipes. Right now I'm just measuring to see if I'm going to have an extra lip on the free edge of the nail. You'll see why I do that with all the nails. I'll explain ahead. So I cut these into 4 equal sizes, but I don't lay it down first. So I start by shaping the tabs, and this is why I use the corners of the scraping, what's the transverse stamper, the scraping stamper, so that I can use the corner and it will make the shaping of the tab a lot easier. I'm only showing you just the one so that we don't make this video too long, but I do that to all 4 tabs. And then now I'm etching the inside of the nail so that wherever I'm going to lay the tabs, they must have a nice surface to be able to adhere to. I am using this pinching tool to be able to have the perfect hold on the tab while I'm holding it, so that it can adhere or sit nicely on the tank. What I do here, why I turn my hand around, was because I needed these tabs to sit straight up, because if you're not careful, if I am not careful, then I would cure it at or it would be stuck, glued on, slanted, and then the bottom part of the tab of the tank that I need to stick on there will have a difficult time sitting flush. I will show you, I'll demonstrate to you what I'm talking about. But now I am sealing it with a no wipe top coat so that it's on the inside of the nail and there will be no leaking. And that is the most difficult part to try and fix if you're gonna do. Oh, here I'm trying to show you the straightness of the tab, why I use the edge of the scraper, because it has a straighter line, and this way I don't need to cut it straight, and then it makes it easy for it to sit like this, straight flush against the nail. All right, so what was I saying? Oh yeah, it's easier to adhere the bottom part of the tank to the tab if it's straight. And then now what I'm doing is just sealing or bonding the two together, the bottom part of the tank to the nail, which is the tank itself. So I put a little and then I flash cure, and then after I do that to each nail, I seal everything. Like I saturate the nail where the nail tip, where the bottom part of the tip and where the tab meets, where all three meet, I just smother those areas, those sections with a no wipe top coat, and I do that to all the 4 nails. And right now I'm removing the excess gel on the sides. I'm cutting them off to make it easier for me to file when I'm gonna be using the e-file. All right, so now I have taken the fine drill bit, the gold one, and this is perfect because it just glides like butter, this one. And if it's fine like this, then it will just make the filing a lot easier and a lot smoother, and then it just smoothly glides where you want it to go without any jerking and oh yeah, here I needed to use this sticky tack thingy to stuff the free edge of these nails, because when I'm doing them on my hands, when I do the tanks on my nails, it becomes difficult for me to clean them with alcohol later on, whereas it's easier if I do it, if I don't need to cover the free edge, if I'm gonna be doing them offhand, if you understand what I mean. Okay, so just this finger, I'm showing you in real time how close I get to filing with the e-file on the nail, and then the rest they are all sped up. And the reason why I do that, by the way, I forgot to explain, I block the free edge part is so that the dust doesn't go in. If you can see the very first e-filing of mine in this video just a few minutes back, as I'm filing, before I cover the free edge, you can just see the dust going in. And luckily I realized it while it was still early, so there wasn't too much to fret or worry about. And then what else? Okay, this part becomes easier if you're gonna do your nails this way. I'm finding that I don't want to do it this way anymore. I think all my aquarium nails now I'm gonna do offhand, and then come in later after I've built up the tank, and then I'm gonna put them on to my nails. This part actually becomes easier to do if you have an e-file. Now that way you can get close to your finger. I put my tabs quite close to my nail because I've realized that these nail tips are quite short. Sorry, I need to get me longer tips, I realized, because now I think I've fallen so in love with doing aquarium nails. I feel that the space in each tank right now is quite limiting, and it doesn't do what I want it to do. Anyway, then when I'm done with filing the edges with the e-file, I go in with the hand file and I get closer, because with an e-file it's easy to make a mistake, and then you get too close and then you'll create a hole, and then you'll have to patch it up and all that. I haven't done that, I haven't experienced that yet, but it's always a fear of mine in my head that, I don't want to get too close. But also it makes it easier when I have the hand file to file. It helps with making the nail perfectly straight. Right now I am getting ready to stuff the nails. You can put anything in, but for this one I decided, here I'm showing you the C curve of these tips. They are not high, but they are wide. They are flat and wide. It makes it easier for bigger objects that you want to put in there. It makes it easier. So I can't wait to finish these, but I need to get me longer tips with a higher C curve, because the baby finger, the pinky, even though I went for the smallest pieces for it, it still was too narrow for it. Anyway, so here you go. Oh no, not this finger. I don't know what happened to this clip, but I wanted to show you why I keep an extra, I call it an extra lip on the free edge. If you have seen my previous videos, you'll know what I'm talking about, but if this is your first time watching this and you don't know how I do it or why I do it, you'll see on the next finger. Okay, and then I stuff, I then add the baby oil inside. I use baby oil, and I only use baby oil. I don't use what other people use, cuticle oil. Other people use cuticle oil, and I just use baby oil, and it has always worked for me, and I'm gonna stick to it. Yeah, so as I was curing this, it decided to get stuck on the scraper, and I thought, let me use this. It's a great advantage for me to cover up the sides of that. I did it not off, but I was out of focus, but I wanted to show that I completely seal the sides even more and saturate it more, so that there are no gaps as I'm gonna be filing that off. But mistakes happen, and they did happen here, and it still didn't go the way that I wanted. But it was just one finger. Yeah, it was just the middle finger, the blue one. That's the only one that gave me problems because it started leaking. And okay, can watch the rest. All right, over here I get to show you, even if it's just a little bit, because I was battling with these caviar beads being stuck to each other. But you saw just now where I'm just throwing it in and it slides right into the tank, which it makes it convenient if you're gonna put in caviar beads or anything that's slippery or that will just fall all over the place. For example, what are those? The glitters and the caviar beads. Those things just fall all over the place. But if I have that there, I just pour it on everywhere, and then it just slides all the way in without me spilling and messing my whole table. Okay. So another mistake amongst many other mistakes that I've learned in the past. This is another mistake that I learned, and it's a lesson that I learned, is that I mustn't put too many of those big pieces into a tank, because then it makes movement not so good. But I thought the other two fingers, everything fits in, and only to find the different shapes make a difference. So these the middle, the finger that I'm working on now has grapes as the fillings inside, and the grapes are more triangular than round, than circular. So the first two fingers, their movements was fine. Do you see that bubble that just came up now? It's one of two bubbles, and only one came up to the surface. I wasn't aware of that, so I try to fix it. I take it out, I pop the air bubble, and everything is fine. But watch after I have sealed the tank. At this moment, I realize that something is wrong. I have an air bubble, so I'm worried. I'm thinking maybe there's a leak, it's leaking. So I start pressing the tank. That's another way for checking where the leak is coming from. If you press and the air escapes, that's where the leak is. So I start looking, and I'm like, it's not leaking. Then I realize, oh, it must have been hiding behind those grapes in the back when it was facing upside down. So then when I turned the whole thing upside down again, then the bubble came up, and then the air bubble came up, and now I have to fix it. This is another reason why I don't like air bubbles, because to me, I feel they restrict the movement of the contents inside the tank. So I had to go in with the syringe and needle and poke two holes. One hole was to let the air bubble out, and the other one was to fill in the baby oil. So I didn't put all of that in there, but it took a process. It took a while because I needed to be extremely careful. And yeah, and then when I managed to get the two holes, and then I added the baby oil in, and everything was fine for now. So I'm glad this happened, because if it didn't happen, I wasn't gonna mention it, and it happens a lot. So sometimes the hole on the free edge is so small that when you pour the baby oil in with the dropper, it covers up the whole mouth, and then the baby oil that goes in creates a seal, and then nothing goes in. So what I always do is put the dropper on the one side of the tip and let the oil go in very slowly, and that way it doesn't go in so fast that it ends up closing and clogging the top part, and then it leaves an air bubble inside. So you see why the slip thing is also an advantage. I just put the oil on top of the tip, that lip thingy, and then I just pour the oil and everything just goes in. There was no leaking, there was no dripping, so everything was fine. Now I am filing down all the free edge tips that I created. I use the background of whatever it is. Right now I'm using the extractor back as my background to see how straight I'm going, because everything is so clear and white and clear, it's easy to just go too much into the nail and then you end up having a leak. So I'm only showing this finger in real time, and all the others, don't worry, I will be just going fast. I'll speed up the video. After filing this nail, it was successful, no leak, everything was fine, no leaking, and it was straight. It was perfect straight. So then I was filing this middle finger, and then I realized there's a hole. And as you can see, that's what I meant when I say if you press, you'll see movement and then you'll know where the hole is. So I tried to cover it up with no wipe top coat, and then I press it down so that I reduce the size of the air bubble inside, so that when it cures while there's almost no air bubble in. It's almost it's almost impossible to squeeze out everything, because then otherwise the oil comes out and all that. So I think this fixing took about 2 minutes to get it to be properly fixed. Just about 2 minutes. It's a matter of while it's flash curing, it's sealing, and then you just go over it again with another layer of top coat. And then I did the same to all the rest, and everything was good. I used my hand to see if the shape is a perfect straight square shape. And yeah, that's that for now. And quickly, okay, this part has got nothing to do with the tips. This is about the aquarium nails. That's it for the aquarium nails. And then now you just decorate. 2 things. I watched people doing aquarium nails before I started this channel, and I fell in love with them. And then I paid attention to long hair pretty nails, Evie, and she kept doing recreations of aquarium nails, and from there that's where I learned what to do, what not to do, and all that. And then I fell in love with it. But she loves having a bubble. That's one thing that's different about me making mine and her making hers. She loves her air bubble, and I just I don't want no air bubble as much as I can. Very small or nothing at all for me. I don't want it, like, not deliberately. So that's where I actually learned and fell in love with aquarium nails, from watching Long Hair Pretty Nails. And then the first time I tried it was on this channel. I was freaking out. In fact, you guys must go watch my first aquarium nails. They are so bad, but till today I am proud of them because of how perfectly they came out for the first time, being it my first time. And they didn't leak. Well, they leaked, but they haven't leaked since. Till today I still have them, and they haven't leaked since. That's one thing. Another thing I wanted to tell you guys is, what was it now again? Oh yes, I remembered. So this thing that frustrated me the most about this set, and frustrated me the most, the thing I got to learn and made me mad, and I almost didn't even put up this video, is because I wanted these to be clear, but if you look closely, they are foggy. And they are foggy because it was my fault. I used a product which I don't ever use on my aquarium nails, because I decided if everything is going well, why reinvent the wheel? I already know all my products, and I know the products that work for me. Then, okay, after filing the sides, of the tank and having them straight and all that. Usually I go in with a no wipe top coat, and that's what I always say in my videos. This time I decided to use a top coat, but it was one that I know and I was aware was tacky, had a tacky finish to it. But I used it. It was my first time using it, and I had just bought it, so I was, excited to use it. I use it and I wipe it, obviously, but then I file it, not lightly file, just so that it's even and it's leveled out and it's smooth. It has a smooth finish. I don't know what happened. It just left a thick layer of something. I don't know how it felt. It, even to the touch, it felt like oily, and then the look looked foggy. So you can imagine it feels oily, the top coat, when it's wiped off, with alcohol, but when you look at it, it's also foggy. So it was all kinds of wrong. So that's what frustrated me about that. And yeah, it made me mad, but I tried to look past that and just look at the beauty of the tanks, and I cannot not see it. And if you didn't see it, now I just made you aware. Anyway, now I'm embellishing the top and I'm doing everything. Let me quickly say this. The video is coming to an end. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you learned something from it. If I left anything out, you can ask me in the comment section below. Let me know what you think of it. All right, fun fact quickly: singing in the shower can burn calories. All right, everyone, thank you very much. Goodbye, take care, subscribe.